Hey y'all, Jerry Work with Work Media here, and welcome to another episode of Work Media TV. So, I recently did a photo shoot for a lovely young lady named Elizabeth Work, who is in fact my daughter. She wanted me to do her senior pictures. She graduates this year. So, we live up above our old family farm, which is a great place for doing this kind of photo shoot. So we went down there and took some photos. I thought we would take a look and just kind of talk about what makes them interesting. So as you can see here, she's standing in front of this old green dump truck that does not run. It's just kind of a landmark down there now, and it's an interesting backdrop because it has that very um, rustic green color to it. And so, I made sure I had my camera set the settings such that it would give us a little blurry background. And if that had not if I had not been satisfied with that, I can also do some digital stuff. But in general, as much as possible, I prefer for the blur to be natural. I like a natural depth of field, and I am a shallow depth of field guy. I like it when there's clearly something in focus and elements behind it or in front of it are slightly blurred. It just gives you that natural feeling of depth. Ironically, the picture that she chose as her number one photo, I didn't like as much because it didn't have that depth. It was more flat. So, but anyway, she overruled me. So I did do a lot of I tried all kinds of different processing on the pics just to kind of give them different looks. And as you see on this one, there's a lot of contrast. That green in the truck is kind of heavy. A lot of dark lines, but I really like this pose. In general, I probably wouldn't use this much contrast a lot, but I had a number of pics to choose from here, and so just experimenting with different looks. I really like the way this one looks. So here you see on this one, we backed off of the contrast, not nearly as much, but we've got this nice flow of hair, the wind blowing through the hair. This is also one of my favorite ones. This may actually be my favorite one. I like the expression on her face. Um, this is just a cool photo. I really like this one. Okay, so now as you see on this one, I really went um, in kind of a monochromatic kind of look. The truck's very gray looking, and even the subject. I probably, I think I would have preferred having a little bit more color, like in her dress, for example. But in general, I like the feel of the photo. I like the pose. She's looking out. It's I don't know. It's thoughtful and kind of melancholy in a way. I like it. So this one's more conventional, just leaning up against the truck, nice, nice pretty pose, nothing wrong here, nice smile here. I like this one too. This one I did a little bit of a shadowy look around it, and I like this one too. Okay, this one's processed a certain way. It's almost kind of sepia, kind of the colors, some of the colors sucked out, and I definitely kind of darkened the background, sitting on the porch. So these are the ones she liked, I think, best. Um, I actually didn't like these quite as much because this is kind of what I mentioned earlier. There's not as much room for depth here because she's positioned so close to the background. There's really not a whole lot you can do with it. But I like it. It's a nice rustic background. So on this one, I kind of gave it that kind of shadowy look around the edge. The vignette, I think you call it. I don't know how you pronounce the word vignette, whatever. I don't know, but that's a photographic effect that does add this kind of certain look around it, and I did apply some filtering to the colors. This one in Photoshop, I highlighted her and selected inverse so that I could give the background really a monochromatic look. Although, as you see, the red still kind of comes through in this certain filter that I used for this. Down at the creek, nice blur in the background. So that's it. All of these have some measure of processing to make them pop a little more. Although this was a great day to do photos. It was bright. Although it was later in the evening. We had some nice sunlight coming at an angle. So as you see here on this one, I specifically made everything black and white except her. Just kind of a cool look to use every now and then. It's an interesting look. Here you can really see the sunlight shining off of her hair. I really like the way this one works. This one looks very pleasant, a blurry background that gets more crisp the closer it gets to her. The sun shining off her hair. Really nice pose. This kind of a pensive look. This is kind of a spur of the moment. She was not ready for me to take the picture, but sometimes that's when you get the best shots. And so there you go. We went down to the old family farm, did lots of different poses, and did lots of processing on them. And so I think it was a very successful photo shoot. She got some photos that really represent her well, and she was very happy. So if you have to do this kind of thing, maybe this gave you some ideas. And if you could use some help with this kind of thing, I invite you to contact us at workmedia@workmedia.net, or you can email us at info@workmedia.net. If you've got some comments, I would love to hear from you. If you enjoyed the video, I would appreciate a like or a follow. And that's it for this episode. We will see you next time.